You think that your IELTS writing essay makes sense and you expect something better than 6.5, even 7, but you got 5.5. The problem may be your body paragraphs. This is exactly why you're here, because I'm going to teach you sentence by sentence how to build a band 7 body paragraph in IELTS Writing Task 2. Let's go. So hey, welcome back to Everything IELTS, the series where I help you achieve your target IELTS band score. I've helped hundreds of clients break through from 5.5 to 7, and I'm here to help you do the same. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pick ideas for body paragraphs, how to write a topic sentence, how to explain your main ideas, and one simple trick that can make your body paragraph clearer instantly. Before we go into details, I would like to remind you about the structure of a body paragraph, because it is actually the foundation of every single good one. If you don't know the structure, it doesn't matter how much you write, doesn't matter how much effort you put into your body paragraph, it still doesn't look good. Now, the first part of the body paragraph is, yes, the main idea. Now, the main idea is where you tell the examiner in general what this body paragraph is about. And this main idea has to comply with the core idea you provide in the introduction. It cannot be random, because everything has to be done with strategies and everything has to be following a structure. So this main idea is telling the examiner what you are going to write in this body paragraph, and this main idea is part of the core idea you provide in the introduction. And that is the first part. Now, the second part of a good body paragraph is, of course, the supporting ideas. Okay, so SI here, supporting ideas. Now, this supporting idea or these supporting ideas can be understood as the explanations of the main idea. So this has to be explaining what the main idea is actually about. It is making the main idea clearer. And we have the third part, which is also compulsory. This is the example of the body paragraph. This is the body paragraph example. Now, this example again has to be relevant to the supporting ideas that you provide in the second part. Now, this example cannot be random. It cannot be irrelevant. It cannot be too general without referring to the supporting ideas. I made a video about this. It's a short video only, but check it out. It's on my TikTok, my channels basically, okay? Check on shorts as well. Now, these are the compulsory parts of an IELTS Writing Task 2 body paragraph. There's another part which is optional in this case. I write it over here, is optional. This is the summary sentence. Now, this summary sentence can be here, or if you cannot write it, you don't want to write it, it's fine. The most important things that you need to have, these, okay, 1, 2, 3. You must have these parts in a body paragraph. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to use this topic on the screen you can see as an example for demonstration. So the topic we have at hand now is, some people think that governments should invest more money, effort, etc. in public transportation rather than building new roads. The question here is to what extent you agree or disagree. This is an opinion essay and I have a long video about this. Check it out, it's on my YouTube. Before you start writing, I would highly recommend you make an outline for your writing. This is where you come up with ideas, and this is where you decide which ideas are worth choosing. I would like you to pause over here a little bit, because there are two mistakes that people often make when choosing an idea for the IELTS Writing Task 2 essay. And I want you to avoid making these mistakes. These are very avoidable, don't worry. Mistake number 1 in choosing idea is when you choose a very complicated idea. Because let's face it, sometimes you have a great idea, a smart idea that you think probably the best idea that you have ever had in your life or in your IELTS writing preparation journey. But this idea is extremely difficult to explain, or you need a lot of time to explain this idea clearly. If you have a very difficult to explain idea, you will need a lot of time to write it. to make it a full body paragraph. It is not worth it, right? So the first mistake that you should avoid, and it is extremely avoidable, is no difficult ideas should be included in your writing. It doesn't matter how smart they sound if you need more than 30 seconds to even think about the explanations for them. Drop them. Not worth it. The second mistake that a lot of people make is very much relevant to the topic we have today. So over here we have the topic about public transportation versus building new roads. And the topic here, the task here says that some people think that government should invest more in public transportation rather than building new roads. Now, a lot of people in this case, when they agree with this statement, they make a very general body paragraph stating an advantage of public transportation. But this topic is not only about the advantages or the disadvantages of either of these aspects, public transportation or building new roads. It is about which one is better and which one deserves more investment. And in this case, for example, I am a public transport girl, so I would support building and investing more in public transportation, which means my instinct to write this paragraph is to talk about how good public transportation would do for my life, but this is not it's not the most relevant idea for this paragraph because I need to make a comparison between public transportation and building new roads. So the second mistake that people often make when coming up with ideas in this case is the topic over here is the comparison between public transportation, investment in public transportation, and investment in building new roads. Which one deserves more money, more time, more effort, more attention? So an example for mistake number one is public transportation enhances social equality. Now, it sounds really smart. It sounds like something that only smart people think about. But it takes a lot of time to explain this idea because you must explain what equality you mean, a lot of different things in this statement. So drop it, okay? This is not the game to show how intelligent we are. It's just an exam for the English language. So choose an easier one, all right? And the example for the second mistake, probably something like public transportations reduces traffic jam or traffic congestion. Now, is it true? It is absolutely true. But does it directly support your claim or the topic? Not really, because you do not say exactly how public transportation deserves more investment. Just because public transportation reduces traffic doesn't mean that building new roads doesn't reduce traffic, right? You need to make a comparison here. So pay attention to the topic and spend some time reading the task and making an outline to make sure you do not make these mistakes. These are very, very avoidable. Now, let's talk about how you can write a main idea sentence or a topic sentence for this body paragraph. For a body paragraph in this essay. Now, in my opinion, I 100% agree that governments should invest more money in public transportation rather than building new roads. You can disagree with this, I don't know, but for the purpose of this video, I totally agree with this statement. And in real life, I actually also totally agree with this statement. Now, the first part of a body paragraph is, of course, the main idea. And as I said, in this task, we have a comparison between public transport and building new roads. We need to clearly state our opinion and clearly state a reason why A deserves better than B or A is better than B. In this case, I need to explain why investment in public transport is better than investment in building new road. Okay, so I have the topic sentence of the body paragraph that I want to write over here. Public transport is more effective at reducing traffic than building new roads. So I need you to pay attention to the comparison that I made over here. More effective at reducing traffic. Okay, so what I'm saying over here is that building new roads can also reduce traffic. Public transportation also reduces traffic, but public transportation is more effective. On a side note, I also want to make another main idea sentence, another topic sentence. Investing in public transport has proven effective at reducing traffic in many countries. Now, these sentences may sound the same. They may sound like they're delivering the same main idea. And in fact, they do deliver kind of similar ideas. But the reason I'm giving you two different main idea sentences over here is because based on the main idea, the sentence, the topic sentence, you will have different approaches when it comes to the supporting ideas. The reason I did not use the word explanation when I was talking about the supporting ideas is because I didn't want to confuse you, because there are two ways you can provide supporting ideas depending on the topic sentence or depending on your main idea. So the first the first approach that you can use to support your idea is the explanation based, do excuse my handwriting, approach. And the second one is the example based approach. I'm going to explain to you the differences between these approaches. Now, the first approach is the explanation-based approach. You use this one when the main idea or the topic sentence is not 100% clear. Now, it makes sense, but for the examiner who has never read anything, who has never spoken to you, who doesn't know you, to understand what you exactly mean by that, by the main idea, you still need to provide some explanation. But for the example-based approach, the main idea or the topic sentence is already too clear, so the examiner doesn't need anything else. This should be with the explanation-based approach because the topic sentence is not 100% clear. If you do not explain it, it still doesn't say how effective and why you think that public transport is more effective. Right? You don't have an explanation here. The examiner does not understand really what you mean by this. But for the second one, you will be using the example-based approach because you are mentioning many countries. You are stating this as a fact, and it is indisputable, right? This fact is indisputable. Your job now is to provide a real-life example of, this many countries by maybe coming up with a certain country like the country Singapore, right? The best public transport system in the world. When using the explanation-based approach, a lot of people, including my clients, often make this big mistake. They have incomplete arguments. So their arguments are part of the full explanation to explain the main idea, but they do not go to the end of it. Let's say it's like you are making a pasta for your friend, and the last step is for you to put a little salt on top to season the pasta to make it tastier, right? Now, without the salt, it's still pasta, but without salt, it's bland. It doesn't taste very nice. Something is missing. This is the problem that not a lot of people pay attention to because, of course, when you write a lot and you are under pressure, you don't feel like your argument is actually incomplete, which is why now I'm giving you a trick. And this trick will also help you to decide whether you're going to use the explanation-based approach or the example-based approach. I call it the so what trick. When you explain an idea, ask yourself the question, so what? For example, in this case, I am using this explanation for my main idea. Building new roads, good, but will eventually increase traffic again. But with public transport, we have a better alternative with the same level of comfort and confidence. To this point, you may feel like, okay, this is complete, it is fine, it's understandable. Yes, it is clear. However, ask yourself, so what? When you answer this question, you push yourself a step further to close the argument, to make the argument complete. So this last sentence can be before the example or after the example to close the argument, to make the argument complete. By answering this so what question, you complete your argument, you close the so-called, and you make your body paragraph more coherent, and you improve your coherence and cohesion score. Speaking of coherence and cohesion, I would like to remind you of the use of linking words. Now, linking words are like bridges connecting your sentences or your paragraphs together. They are useful. They are very, very important. But they are important and they are good only when they help, not when they reduce your score. And here are the few mistakes that I've seen people make a lot when using linking words in IELTS Writing Task 2. The first mistake people often make is to use too many linking words, like using linking words and linking phrases in every single sentence in a body paragraph. That makes your body paragraph sound like it's memorized, it's robotic, and not natural at all. Not every sentence needs to be started with a linking word or a linking phrase. It depends on the content of the sentence. The second mistake is to use linking words incorrectly. Now, I don't have to talk about it because this is a lexical resource mistake. It also reduces your coherence, which means you will also lose points in coherence and cohesion. For example, if you use moreover, but you do not provide another related idea, it doesn't make sense. Or when you use on the other hand, but you do not present an opposite idea. And the third mistake is when you found a very nice linking word and you repeatedly use it. Imagine using furthermore 5 times in an essay. The examiner definitely will notice it, but not in a good way. So the best practice for linking words is to choose a word that fits the content of your writing, of your sentence, and also vary your choices. Sometimes the best option is to write a clear sentence. So this is what I have. The topic sentence is public transport is more effective at reducing traffic than building new roads. We already know this. And I used a little bit better vocabulary and a bit better grammar to explain it a little bit over here. And in this case, I use only one linking phrase on the other hand, as you can see here. Not too many, but still very clear. And the last sentence I have, and I use also another linking word, hence. Now this sentence I can put right after the explanation over here or after the example. Now, I would like you to help me out a little bit. I am struggling with writing an example for this one. Can you help me write an example and put it in the comment section? I will choose the best one, change a little bit to fit my style, and publish the entire essay on my blog. And if you would like to write an entire body paragraph, feel free to do so and put it in the comment section. I'll tell you if there's any problem. Join my Everything IELTS preparation plans for IELTS writing evaluations. For now, get free practice test on practicenight.co. I'll see you there. For now, you have fun learning. Bye!